Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Thursday night. I'm just chilling. Let's talk about dreams. Dreams are weird. It feels like another reality sometimes, right? I mean, if you're an active dreamer. Not everybody's really active dreamer. Some people claim that they don't remember their dreams or that they don't dream, and maybe that's true for them. I remember my dreams. I dream most every night. Unfortunately, most of my dreams are stressful. I guess you could classify them as nightmares. I don't typically have happy dreams or fun dreams. My dreams are work, are stressful. I usually wake up covered in sweat, thankful to be alive and that it was just a dream. One of the themes that I dream about a lot is being chased by police. I'll tell you about a dream that I had years ago that has always stayed with me just because it was so vivid and it was like a story from beginning to end. And it felt so real. You ever had a dream like that where when you wake up, you're surprised that that wasn't actually happening? The weird thing about this dream is that the character in the dream, it felt like me, but it wasn't me. Or maybe it was, but it just didn't look like me. Usually when I dream, I'm the current age, or at least I know I can recognize that I'm me. This felt like someone else. And it looked like someone else. I could see them. Do you ever see yourself like you're looking in the mirror? Do you ever see yourself in a dream? In this dream, I was like in a third person position where I could see the character. I wasn't looking out through his eyes. I was watching him like we'd be watching a movie. And the character was this little old man, looked like Bernie Sanders. And all I could think is that it's me, because I followed that character throughout the whole dream. Like I was a little camera, a little drone flying behind him, or around him. And it started off where the old man was taking his car down to a mechanic that he had never been to in a part of town that wasn't so wonderful. And I forget what city it was. It was a random city, and I've lived around the country. So sometimes in my dreams, I'll dream of a town and it'll be just this conglomeration of many different places that I've lived. And this was kind of like that. Big city. Could have been LA, could have been DC, could have been San Francisco, whatever. And I go down to the mechanic shop. They have a large shop split into two areas, and they had a large main street with a giant building full of open bays and mechanics, techs doing their thing. And then they had a smaller shop with like a little car lot across the street behind it. And there's a small street behind the building, and on that street was that other location, but it's all one business. I walked into one, and I'm a little old man, looked like Bernie Sanders, and I walk into the main building as I parked out front, and I was wanting to find the owner to talk to him, and they say that he's across the street, out back, and point the direction I should walk. So I walk through the facility, out the back to the parking lot, across the little street that's in the back, and then go over to the car lot. The car lot is closed, chain link fence, and there's no way in. But I do see some activity, some people, and I motion to them, hey. I'm a little old man, and some younger guys come up behind me, because it's a bad neighborhood, and they start messing with me. And they try to rob me from my watch and my wallet. but I didn't give it to him. I fought back. One guy had a knife, but he didn't know how to use it. I pulled it out of his hand and I stabbed him. Little old man. I was like an 80-year-old man. Looked just like Bernie Sanders in the dream. Stabbed this young guy. Must have been 18, 17, who knows. Stabbed him right in his guts. The owner of the shop comes out. They saw the whole thing. They bring me inside and they're like, oh my God, so sorry. We were kind of laughing about it, like you really showed him and how old man can really show these youngsters. So they were kind of impressed. And I was humble and told him I just got lucky. You know, I don't know how to fight, never been in a fight before, I'm just an old man. And then the cops show up immediately. And these guys change their story. And they hand me over to the cops as a murderer. Because apparently I killed the guy. But I didn't want to go with the police. So I ran out. And running out as an old man is like, you know, kind of shuffling out. And of course these cops laid chase, but they couldn't grab a hold of me. Every time they went to grab a hold of me, I would get away. And I would turn around a corner, or I ran into the other building, and I found that was a good tactic. It was such a tight-knit city where the part of town I was able to run into buildings and run out the back door and just kind of play this game of cat and mouse with these cops. And they brought out their whole fleet of cars and helicopters. And it got around town on the news that a murderer was on the loose and the cops were after him. And that it was this little old man. And I was a professor at a university. I forget what subject. It may have been English or may have been science. And that some little old man professor had murdered somebody and he's on the loose and the cops can't catch him. And on the way, as this journey of being chased by police all through town, other criminals, prostitutes, and gang members, lowlifes of various sorts, would help me. Hey, come here. I've seen you on the news. Come on. And they would, you know, hide me, and the cops would go by. I ran into a Chinese restaurant, and they stuffed me in the freezer, in their walk-in freezer, and I'm a little old guy, and I'm shivering in the freezer. Thought they forgot about me, and finally they got me out and said, "Coast is clear. Go." And I ran. First I got back to the university, which was downtown. And I wasn't safe there. I don't know why I wanted to get there, but I needed to get to my office. And I went to the office, did whatever business I had to do there, I forget what it was. And just as the cops showed up to the university, I made my escape. Same thing, where they're just, like literally with their hands on me. And I weasel my way out of it. Duck down a hallway. Hobble down a staircase. Go through a courtyard. And the chase is on, all over again. And it's just, they just can't get me. And people are rooting for me, and they're helping me. And that's the only thing propelling me forward, is this amazing luck and people's help. And I had a wife, who's also some little old lady. Looked like B. Arthur or something from Golden Girls, one of these types of old ladies. I don't know who she was. At least in real life, didn't feel like it was a real person, just some old lady wife in the dream. And I had to get back to my apartment. I had an apartment that was near a park. So like imagine Central Park, but it wasn't New York City. It was just some city, some random city, Dream City. So I had to get back to my little apartment where my wife was. And she didn't really leave much. But she also was a professor at the university and had her own career. And I needed to say goodbye to her. And I'm sure that she had known what was going on, or at least seen the news. Everybody in town had seen the news. And I finally got to the building. There's police surrounding it. I did my best to climb on top of a dumpster and then up a fire escape and broke a window, got into an apartment, and then went into the hallway, took the elevator up, and got into my apartment where my wife was. We had a very upsetting last moment where I told her I need to go and she wanted to go with me, and I said, you can't. You have to stay and live your life. There's no way out of this for me. I'm gonna run. That's my life now. So I left her and she's like, no, don't go. And I left just as the cops showed up. I left. She's terrified and confused, and the police are just about to get me. And I get away. Nobody can find me. I just randomly disappear. The cops have no idea what happened. It was like I disappeared into thin air, and I end up at the very end of the dream, literally walking down the road like into the sunset. And then I woke up. I don't know who that fucking dream was about. I don't know why I had that dream. I've never had a dream like that ever before or ever since. Thanks for watching.